Okay. All right. Well, welcome everyone to the Communication Access Connect for the month of March. Here we are. And I'm Darlene Hansen, and we're going to get this started. But first, I'm going to have Lorna talk to our participants who are using the interpretation. Or Ernest. Who is it? Ernest or Lorna? Okay.
Muy buenas tardes. Para todas las personas que hablan español, se ofrece interpretación simultánea al español. Para poder escucharla, puede acceder a la función de interpretación de Zoom. Si está en su computadora, la encontrará en la parte de abajo de su pantalla, en el icono de globo. Desde ahí selecciona el canal de español. Si no quiere escuchar el audio original, seleccione silenciar audio original. Si usted está en su tableta o en su teléfono celular, encontrará esta opción en los 3 puntitos al lado de su pantalla donde dice más y desde ahí accede a interpretación. El resto es igual. Gracias. Thank you.
Great. And Ed, do you want to say out loud the Zoom interpretation?
Sure. Hey, folks, we are offering, I'm going to give a brief visual description. I'm Ed Herzl. I am the Communications and Development Coordinator / Zoom Wizard for Disability Voices United. I am a white butch wearing glasses with short hair and a very loud Keith Haring button-down shirt. I am going to let you know, and my pronouns are she, her. I'm going to let you know how we can use interpretation, what every single person needs to select their language, even if you only want to hear English, so that you can hear when our interpreters interpret something from Spanish into English. So what you're going to do, if you are on a desktop or a laptop, if you're on a computer, you are going to click on the image that says interpretation at the bottom of your Zoom screen. It looks like a globe. If you don't see that, click more first, and then you're going to choose your language, either Spanish or English. If you are on a cell phone, what you're going to do is touch in the black space below the images so the Zoom controls appear. You're going to press join audio and then press call via device audio. Then you're going to press more, press language interpretation. And at that point, you're going to be able to choose your language. And if you don't want to hear the original audio, uncheck original audio, then press done. Thank you to our interpreter, Lorna, who wrote these instructions that I'm reading. So that's how you do interpretation, folks.
Great. Okay, thanks. Well, hello. We'll get started with our introductions here. I'm Darlene Hansen, and I am the co-director, one of the co-directors, obviously co means there's more than one of us, of the empowerment. We are now called the empowerment team. And the empowerment teams host the Communication Access Connect every month. So I want to thank you all for joining us. I'm going to turn it over to my co-director, Tim.
Hi, I'm Tim. I'm Darlene's partner.
Yeah, so that's us. So today, Disability Voices United, we're really excited to have this powerhouse team of people who are kind of taking the state by storm, I guess we should say. They inspire me to really go out there. And so I'm going to turn it over to Nina, and she's going to get us started on this, and they're going to introduce themselves as they're talking to you. Go for it, Nina.
Hi, everybody. My name is Nina Spiegelman, and I am supposedly the policy director at DVU, but I'm really here because, as Darlene and Tim know, and William too, I'm a communications access groupie. I love these meetings. I love this team. I love the discussions that go on here. And in that vein, I had the just incredible honor and thrill of joining the folks who will be talking with you today, the Mod Squad. They'll explain all that. Darlene and I were with them on an advocacy in action like day. It wasn't officially called that, but that's what I'm calling it, because it was the most amazing. It was an amazing event, and it was a day in Sacramento of meetings in the governor's office and with very high level folks at DDS. And it was some of the most, I mean, I have been, involved in a lot of efforts and meetings and all kinds of things at all different levels. And this was unbelievably effective. It was a pleasure, and I really instructive. I think about it all the time now when I get ready for meetings and get prepared. We also were in the prep sessions. It was really something, and I'm
Oop, she might have glitched out. That's her, not me, right?
Yep, that's Nina on Nina's end.
Okay, she'll pop on in a second. I don't know about the rest of you, but I know that a bunch of us have noticed that our audios and cameras keep going glitchy today for some reason. So sorry about that. She'll pop back in. Anyways, so yeah, it was an amazing week, amazing 2 days that we had there in Sacramento. So we're going to get started with William, who is part of our team here at DVU as well, and has been an intern with us for over a year now. So William, you want to get us going here?
My name is William Del Rosario, and I am a student intern with DVU. I am a 22-year-old Hispanic Filipino male with black hair, brown eyes, wear glasses, and my pronouns are he and him. I have autism, apraxia, am a multimodal communicator, and use AAC. Supporting me today is my mom, Michelle. Thank you for making the time to be here.
Thanks, William. You want to go next, Miss Bella?
Hello, my name is Bella. I am a 20-year-old Hispanic female with long brown hair. I am wearing a rust color outfit. I live in a beautiful beachside community called Belmont Shore in Long Beach. I love to listen to books on poetry, art, and history. I am happiest when traveling and exploring new destinations. Most importantly, I love learning. I am an autistic AAC user with dyspraxia, a condition that makes it difficult to perform motor skills. This means I need support to motor through my day. Supporting me today is my mom, Anna. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Bella. How about our next presenter is going to be Otto.
Thank you, everyone at DVU and CAC. Thank you to everyone tuning in. Thank you to my mod squad friends. What a treat. Thank you to everyone for their generosity of time and of spirit. And especially thank you for believing in impossible. I am not Rolana. If you do not know me, that is okay. You will never forget me after this. Thank you for inviting me here this afternoon. Just a quick visual description of myself. I am a young Latin man with dreamy blue eyes, a smattering of California sun-kissed freckles. I have short brown hair, stylishly rolled back, and an engaging smile. I'm wearing my signature orange running shoes and black pants and a black t-shirt. I am 18 years old. I am a high school senior. I live in San Diego. You can find me at the beach most days.
I don't have more.
No, that's all.
Okay, great. Okay, well, thanks. So those are our three presenters. And as Nina alluded to, we got to go to Sacramento and present. Our intent for today is that they're going to tell you about their experience in Sacramento. And then for all of you who have had opportunities to advocate or wonder about advocating wherever you want to advocate, we are hoping that afterwards you can start a conversation about that and put that in the chat and talk about what needs to be advocated for in the first place. Reminder that the chat is very active, especially in this session, since so many people are using AAC. So be sure and put your stuff there. So Bella, let's start off with Bella. Okay, Bella, why don't you tell us a little bit about what did you advocate for in Sacramento when you went there?
Here's my elevator speech that I wrote for the representatives in Sacramento. Hello, my name is Isabella Santoyo. I'm a 20-year-old bilingual limited-speaking autistic from Long Beach. I am here to share how challenging it has been to get the support I need to access a life worth living. The core issue is that my communication is deemed invalid. I need support to communicate and move safely in my environment because of my sensory and motor differences. This past year, my parents requested that my charter school meet my communication support needs. After this request, a behaviorist was hired to create an entrance assessment just for me. The behaviorist reported that I was unlikely benefiting from my education and that my communication was not valid. Rather than meeting my needs, the charter school disenrolled me. This experience was dehumanizing and discriminatory. I am here today advocating for my civil rights. My right to access an education with trained support should be ensured. My experience with Regional Center and the Department of Rehabilitation have been the same. Without trained support, I cannot access a quality education, benefit from services from Regional Center or DOR, nor integrate into the community. Communication access is the key. Without the ability to communicate, my life would have no purpose. There needs to be changes in current policy to make augmentative and alternative communication support and training mandatory. Can we count on your support? My main point was to ask for communication support because I and many others need it. The civil rights of AAC users are being denied. I don't think it is lawful to deny me access to a meaningful life. I see the need for us to stand up and be actively involved in fighting for our basic right to communicate.
Excellent. We'll talk more about how that was received. Good. William, you want to tell us next what you went to Sacramento to advocate for?
Yay.
Here is my elevator pitch. My name is William Del Rosario. I am a 22-year-old non-speaking adult learner with autism and live in Orange, California. I type to communicate and am currently working towards earning my high school diploma one letter at a time. While my communication and learning differences do not define me, they have been used against me when determining the support services that I have received. I have historically been viewed as being capable of learning only the most basic skills with limited interest. My years in public education were spent in a segregated classroom for students with severe autism. There is often an assumption made that if you are non-speaking that you are also non-thinking, and that managing behaviors will give you the best future. What educators failed to see was that the behaviors they were seeing came from my frustration of not having access to communication or grade-level academics. Even into my adult years, there were educators who offered me picture books such as The Hungry Caterpillar to read. My parents bought me an iPad and a communication app and paid for communication training to learn how to support me at home. Access to an iPad at school took time to get approved. Even with this accommodation, the experts had few expectations for me, and it was difficult getting staff support trained on my communication modality. As a person who requires communication support, I am sometimes viewed as less. My requests for support have been met with testing requirements to prove that I am worthy of services. These tests do not allow for me to have a communication support person, which greatly limits my ability to respond. For example, I am currently being asked to have a psychologist's evaluation to receive Department of Rehabilitation (DOR) services. They won't let me have a communication partner for the testing, but said that my mom could be outside the door. My case manager said that I will have access to my communication because I will have my iPad with me. I wonder if they would test a deaf person while their interpreter stands outside the door and tell the person that they still have access to their communication because their hands are with them. Without this access to communication, the expectations are lower. I am asking you to give heart to this situation and join me in driving change. Communication shouldn't be an accommodation. It should be the expectation. The point I wanted to make was that the expectation for communication access needs to be available in all environments. It should also be equally accessible and not limited by the type of disability you have.
Excellent. I'm wearing my communication wouldn't be an accommodation. It should be an expectation t-shirt, sweatshirt today in honor of the Mod Squad here. Thanks, William. All right, Otto, how about you? What did you do and say when you got there?
We were originally asked to present at the El Dorado Chapter Schools CELPA's annual conference. Since we were going to be in our state's capital, we thought we would just see if we could visit with the governor. Who knows? You might just get a yes for an answer. We wanted to explain to policymakers just how difficult it is to access communication and support systems for communication. We wanted to explain how the lack of funding for access and support affects us and explain the misconceptions surrounding what support entails. In a nutshell, we were asking for money to be spent in a way to support our success as multi-modality communicators. We wanted to normalize and humanize individuals with speech-related disabilities living large. We wanted to create a new narrative for AC users. We wanted to demonstrate how we have leveled up. We wanted to give them a face-to-face interaction with a group who is fully activated. Here is my elevator pitch. First of all, I would like to thank you for your time and consideration this afternoon. My name is Otto. I am 18 years old and a high school senior. I live in San Diego, California. I have autism and use text-to-speech software to communicate. I have come a long way in my short life. I did not have access to a reliable mode of communication and was given the label of intellectually disabled at age 6. I was placed in segregated classrooms and given no academic instruction. My days were filled with repetitive tasks like marching cards and stacking blocks. There was also functional tasks like washing your hands and washing windows. Every day was the same. It was a preschool prison. When I was 9, I met Darlene Hanson, a speech therapist who taught me how to type. Now my life has changed for the better, and I can stand here today to talk for just a couple minutes about Return on investment. Something every red-blooded capitalist cares about. Lawmakers should care about this too. As I am sure you are aware, the IDEA and the Lanternman Act guarantee taxpayer funds provide disabled persons, such as myself, access to an education. Yet, 80% of us live our adult life in poverty. This is a terrible return on your investment. Shouldn't the goal be to have us be taxpayers, preferably in a high tax bracket? I believe the issue is communication. What we have got here is failure to communicate. Thank you, cool hand Luke. But seriously, non-existent funding for communication and support to access communication is a huge issue. I am a dependent person. Make no mistake, I have independent thoughts, but require support to put those thoughts into action. Support begins and ends with my access to communication. If I have no support, I cannot succeed. Success requires funding for communication access and support. By the way, my diagnosis of intellectually disabled was changed to gifted, just in case you were wondering. Thank you for your time.
That's awesome. So as I bet a lot of people could imagine, when you are receive those appointments to go to Sacramento and or even to any like official, even in the city, you know, an assembly person or a Senate person or the mayor or police chief, whoever, it's a little intimidating, right? We're stepping out of the box. So we all do some prep. And I think that talking about what goes into that prep is important for all of us to know and understand, because if you go out and do that, you're going to want to do some prep too. And how do you find how do you find people to help you with that? So I wanted to take a second and have you all talk about, how did you prepare to get ready for Sacramento? So William, would you put words to, how do you prepare to get ready to go to Sacramento? You start us off, William.
To get ready, I started with learning who my audience was. We would be meeting with Richard Figueroa, Deputy Cabinet Secretary, and Kim McCoy-Wade, Senior Advisor for Aging, Disability, and Alzheimer's from Governor Newsom's office. We would also be meeting with Director Bergman's advisors from the Office of Developmental Disabilities. Next, I had to write a short elevator pitch explaining who I am, what is needed for change, and an example from my life. I sent my draft to my advisors for feedback. This was helpful because I had never advocated like this before, and I wanted to have a strong opening. We met with DVU before going to Sacramento for practice and suggestions. Since I use an iPad to communicate and we would be traveling, my mom, who is my communication partner, helped me make sure my technology was programmed, packed and ready to go. We also brought my low-tech letter boards for backup communication.
Sorry, excellent. My chair's squeaking back here and I don't know if you guys can hear it, so I'm trying to be polite and turn this off. Anyways, that was good. So Bella, how about you talk about, what did you do to prep? How did you see prep?
First, I met with my mentors via Zoom, and they explained the formalities of advocacy. I learned that I needed to write an elevator speech that summarized the challenges I experience. This part wasn't hard because I have many stories of unjust treatment. I was advised to use appropriate titles and address the representatives formally, and also to make sure my elevator speech requested the support I needed. I did try to prepare mentally for the day, but this was hard. Without pictures of where I would be speaking, it was of no use. Another thing I needed to prepare for was a more professional attire. I knew that I had to dress to impress, so a trip to the mall was inevitable. My communication partner worked with me to scribe my responses and saved my text onto my iPad. She also ensured that my technology was ready and charged for the day.
Those are great points. How about you, Otto? What would you have for us on that?
Knowing your audience and time allotment was crucial. I made sure my presentation was professional and on point. I made sure to address the audience directly and also made sure to thank them for their time and consideration at the end of my narrative. I was succinct and clear regarding my topic. I was well rehearsed and well regulated. I wanted to make sure the focus was maintained on my message. I also had my device fully charged and a backup battery just in case. I had my low-tech letterboard packed too. A, C, users have to be prepared for anything.
Excellent. So, okay, so you went, you presented. How do you think it went? Bella, why don't you start us off with how, as a self-advocate, how did you feel your advocacy was received by your audiences?
Happily, I believe it was well received. I felt that the representatives listened to us such that they engaged in an eager conversation with us all. I am proud I was part of this experience. My ability to advocate gets better with time and opportunities to practice it. Having felt listened to was a great feeling.
Nice. How about you, Otto? How do you think it was received?
Great. Look at the letter I got from the governor himself.
Oh, I don't think we have, but there is a letter. Are you showing the letter?
No, we sent it.
Okay, that's fine. But he
That's
did
fine.
get a
He
letter.
actually got a signed letter, so it's awesome.
He did get a signed letter. Yeah. Awesome. And then how about you, William?
I think meeting the individuals they represented a powerful impact on both government offices. I'm not sure how much they knew or understood about autism and the AC before we met, but it was an opportunity to show them the possibilities we all are capable of and why communication support is needed. We were the first in-person guests they met with since reopening after the pandemic, and I am not sure about the first AAC users, but we made history either way that I hope has them thinking.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So if you had to do it all over again, would you do anything differently, William?
The days were busy, and when I do new things, my body gets tired. We had a short and exciting opportunity to make a difference. Making an appointment with the governor's office is not easy, and flexibility is part of teamwork, so it was good practice for me to find the time in my schedule. Now that I have more understanding and lots of pictures, I can prepare myself for what to expect. It is hard work for me to stay regulated. If there is a next time, my hope is that it will get easier.
We always hope that, right? How about for you, Otto? Is there anything you would do differently?
I would bring more merch, but seriously, I think I would have tried to schedule time to recharge. It was a crazy, packed schedule. I would do it again in a New York minute, given the chance. I think we rallied and represented our tribe of A-C users with pride.
Excellent. And then how about you, Bella? What do you think?
I can't change the past, so why worry or think about it? Life experiences teach us something. I live to experience new opportunities. I will never be perfect at anything, so all I can do is try. I like feeling like I can try anything. My efforts may not be perfect, but seeing the real me is important. That being said, since I wouldn't be able to change anything, I don't really think about the what ifs. I will say that I would have preferred to have only the advocacy to prepare for rather than the additional demand of the conference presentation we took part in that weekend as well.
Yeah, so exhaustion was an issue. It was a whirlwind trip. All right, well, that kind of concludes. I don't know if there's anything else you all, the three of you, want to add to this, but this concludes the formal presentation, the prepared presentation. We wanted to open it up to all of you, and I'll go through some of these comments, but to talk about, have you ever spoken in this kind of a limelight before? Did you have any experience? What are your tips on preparing? You know, just anything on this topic. We're all about building this, you all as a group of people who are going to go out there and share your stories more and more. So we're anxious to see what people have been doing. A lot of thank yous. Elaine says, William, Bella, and Otto, so proud of you all. Thank you all for doing, for all that you do for all of us. Sabrina Epstein says, Bella, I love how you said you got a new outfit for the advocacy. I always feel more confident doing advocacy in a fun outfit. William, you wanted to add something?
It was good to have you there with us, Darlene.
Oh.
Can you share your thoughts too?
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm not prepared for that, but yes. Yeah, so I went with them. And oftentimes I act as this piece when they're presenting it, and they're Merv Griffin. If any of you are old enough to remember Merv Griffin, that's how I kind of see myself as. We're refining our presentation each time we do these things. But I think in terms of going to meet with these state officials the way we did, yeah, I was stressed. I was nervous. The first one, I thought I had to stay on script, and then I get kind of awkward. And I was actually envious of you all who got to prepare yours ahead of time and just press your buttons as you needed to, because you didn't have to be nervous. You could prepare it at home. So I was envious of that. And I think that as far as how we were all received, people hung out with us for quite some time. And I don't know if Nina's back on. I don't know how many people were in our DDS meeting, but there was all of us. So that's probably about 6 or 7. And then there was probably like 5 or 6 from DDS that were with us. So people came in to hear from you all. And that was pretty exciting too. So there did seem to be interest, legitimate interest. So that's pretty neat. Thanks for asking, William. Let's see. Bella says, you're always so stylish. Yeah. Otto says, the Emerging Leaders Program gave me more confidence. Right. We do have an Emerging Leaders Program that is getting ready to start. And I don't know, Gilda, you want to talk about that real quick right now since Otto brought it up, or later? Let's unmute Gilda for a second. Go for it, Gilda.
Hi, everyone. I'm Gilda Hiron. I am the Director of Outreach and Leadership Training with Disability Voices United. And let me turn off my phone because I wasn't expecting to turn on my mic here. But we have our Emerging Leaders Program applications open until the 31st. And the Emerging Leaders Program is a free 5-part training for people with disabilities and their family members in the state of California. And it's a free 5-part training, and it really helps for you learn the skills needed to take leadership positions in your communities or state. And I'll put the link in the chat if anyone's interested in applying. But yes, and then I also have the image of Otto's of the image of the letter that Governor Newsom sent to Otto. If
I don't know if we can,
I can share my screen.
Ed would have to do that. Ed, can you let Gilda share?
Oh, I think I
Perfect.
can.
There you go. It's there.
I wanted to share that though. It's really awesome that.
So it says, it's from the state of California, Office of the Governor, Gavin Newsom. We did not meet with him. We met with two very high up people, I hear, who people don't often get a meeting with. We got meeting with both of them, Richard and Miss
Kim McCoy Wade.
McCoy Wade. I always say the wrong sequence. And so the letter says, "Dear Otto, thank you for the kind gift and charming stickers." He left merch. "The powerful missions behind Otto's mottos reminds me of how important it is to uplift spaces where everyone can share their voice and beliefs, regardless of their differences. We must remain vigilant in our efforts in supporting and inspiring others." Governor Gavin Newsom. Pretty cool.
And Kim McCoy Wade was actually one of our guest speakers for the Emerging Leaders program. So it was really great to see Otto, Bella, William advocate at the state level.
Yeah. And Bella is saying, thank you, Gilda, for that. Bella is saying, may I recommend YLF training as well, which I'm not sure what YLF training, which one is that? Let me see. Bella's going to type that down there. Let's see. Oh, the Youth Leadership Forum. That's another, again, any of these trainings that you guys can get involved in, and that we all get involved in, just gives us more, it empowers us, right? Ed, you said there's a question in here that you're getting that you wanted to share.
Yes, I've gotten a couple questions anonymously that are essentially along the lines of, the Mod Squad sounds great, but what exactly is it? What are they hoping to accomplish? I have a why the name question, which I would love to have y'all share the answer to that, because it's a pretty cool story from my understanding.
Who wants to share who the Mod Squad is? Is Otto going to share something, Shelley?
Yeah, I'm looking for it. Hang on one
okay.
second.
Yeah.
Just hang on 1 second.
No worries.
Yes, so many stories. Let's just make sure I find the right one. Or William might have it pulled up quicker.
William, do you have it?
We are looking. I think it's.
Oh, I think I have one. Do you want me? I can.
It was Otto.
Okay.
An El Dorado one, yeah.
Did you find it in El Dorado? Because I found one too. Do you want?
No, I think you did it in El Dorado. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Here we go. All right. Push that one, I think.
The Emerging Leaders program gave me more confidence. Thank you, Diana, Rachel, William, and everyone here tonight. The Mod Squad. 3 friends joined forces to pave the way for the future of AC, augmentative and alternative communication. This means all the ways someone communicates besides talking. We not only reject old ideas and assumptions, we embody and empower a new understanding of communication and competency. We are demolishing the old to make room for the new. We are mastering our destiny.
That's who they are. And Michelle, can you put their, when you get a chance, can you put their website link in the chat at some point? That'd be great, because I
I
can
think
never
I
find it.
threw it up a little bit earlier.
You did? It was in
Mhm.
there? Oh, okay, good. All right, well. And people are talking about Otto stickers. Otto has quite, you'll have to go to his Otto's Mottos website and you'll see all his merchandise, which does include a gift of stickers typically afterwards when you order. And they are pretty cool. So Will's talking about DDS needs the support in pushing for the use of technology to support our folks' lives to be fully engaged and contributing members of our community. The federal funders are not sure how technology impacts individuals' lives and tends to view technology with worries about privacy concerns, not the fundamental need for everyone to be able to communicate. It does get dicey. I actually met with somebody from the federal government when the school districts started putting in AT into the IEP. And I brought that up. I said, I don't know if you realize this, but when you put in that need to have a conversation about assistive technology, it impacted augmentative communication, but they aren't the same. And he was like, oh, I didn't realize that. And I mean, this was the person who wrote that bill, wrote that into place. And he didn't, you're right. Well, he didn't, they didn't consider that full impact of how that would work. William, do you want me to read this for you, William? Or do you want to say it?
You want Darlene to read it?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay. William says, flow of the meeting was interesting. We have waited so long to be heard, and it was our turn to type out loud. Do you guys think that your flow was received well? Like, was it respectful? William said interesting, but what does that mean? Was it a good interesting or a yikes interesting? Justin, I'm gonna unmute Justin while you guys type. Go for it, Justin.
We're just waiting for somebody to ask a question. I did some emergency training with told about is day counseling, and I did that with him, and I was a helper, and I take the backpack out with me, and I saw my peers what we need to do when we have emergency. So I take it out, and I saw them how we get ready for prepare ourselves.
So you're kind of mentoring people. That's awesome. Okay, good to know. We're going to talk about some of the opportunities we have coming up here too, besides emerging leaders, in a second. Thanks for that, Justin. Talmadge, I'm going to unmute you. Go ahead, Talmadge.
Good afternoon. My name is Goldie House. I am the statewide community organizer for the Disability Organizing Network, or DO Network, at CFILC, which is California Foundation for Independent Living Centers. Before I became a statewide community organizer, I did several years as an advocate. And one of the main things I prided myself in is everyone having a voice, no matter what form, shape, it came in. Finding a way and means was just what I had to do. And when it comes to meeting Ryan Duncanwood and being able to meet Gina and have conversations, and have work with advocates, and see individuals want their voices heard. At the same time, being able to know how to use technology and devices better than other individuals can. Know what they need better than other individuals can tell them. I appreciate the fact that when individuals stop to take the time to find that happy medium of what the gestures are communicated, until the individual is actually able to get that alternative communication device, advocacy is definitely a main step. If any way I can be a help, or CFILC can possibly be a help, I would like to team up and help do presentation or share your presentation with our organization and others, because I believe a voice, and we are for everyone. Disabled disabilities do not discriminate, and communication is a right, not a privilege. We are all born with it. And then just like everything else as growing, times have grown and technology has grown, and the improvements for technology is far beyond past time for you individuals to be able to have that voice amplified. I appreciate being here and listening to the stories. I had the privilege of meeting Ryan Duncanwood and had the privilege of recently meeting Gina. And I would love to be able to have a few conversations in the future so that we can possibly collaborate. I will put my email and information in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Talmadge. That we definitely have opportunities coming up, and I wrote your name down because we're going to connect with you and Gina. Gina was saying that in the chat that she's also done some advocacy. Thank you both. Otto or Bella, is anybody ready with their statement? Anybody have one? No? Oh, William. There you go.
I think getting active in our community and having communication expectations beyond the classroom is a start. The more we are seen, the more we will be heard.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot, about making yourself seen, you know, going out there, being a part of it. We actually, that kind of, maybe it's a joke, I don't know, but we talk about having a flash mob of AAC users come together in different settings to just say, hey, we all exist here at once, you know. That's just kind of our fun talk, but it wouldn't be a bad idea in certain settings. I don't know. Do Otto, thumbs up or thumbs down for Otto or Bella? Do you have something to say? Communication partners, thumbs up. Otto, go for it.
This is such a great organization. Thank you for your continued support and tutelage. You are giving me the tools to always level up. Let's keep grinding, always moving forward.
Thanks, Otto. We love it. But Bella, Anna, does Bella have something? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
We actually sent her a private message, Darlene. She was typing and missed your question.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I hear, oh. Yeah, no, I don't remember the question either. Okay, we'll move on. That's okay. I am multitasking here, you guys. Okay, now I gotta find where I was. Let's see there, because there's a comment here. Josephine says, thank you for the presentations. Wonderful to hear from all of you. I've been thinking about mentorship and the ways that we've learned from other disabled persons. Curious if anyone on the panel have experiences with mentorship on the giving or receiving side. Have any of you been mentors yet? Justin's been a mentor. He's raising his hand. Gina, you've been a mentor? I think Gina's saying yes. Okay, Justin. You can speak, Justin. Yeah, unmute. Oh, sorry. Here we go. I want to unmute you. There we go.
I was a mentor back in Napa PSI, and then we signed to just let go of that, and we start a group called Peer, and it's working. And we did it in person, and then last time when COVID shut down, we had to do our peer group on Zoom. So I am the peer group.
Excellent. Okay, we'll have to make sure we get in touch with Justin too, Tim. Collecting names here. Belinda says we need strong allies. Somebody was asking for Otto's merchandise, and if you look down at 442, he's got his Instagram thing and then his website as well. Yeah, the mod stands for, I gotta get it now, Mastering Our Destiny. That's what the mod stands for. Elaine Hall says, 2 of my neighbors saw the Everyone Belongs Here hoodie from Otto's merchandise, and they both bought one, and both say it's their favorite jacket. Yeah, I wear mine like every other day, my vest. William says, I think getting active in your community and having communication expectations beyond the class. Oh, you said that is important. Okay. Otto says, I love that, Justin. It just takes a village. William said, thank you. Ed says, oh, to go up. Oh, no. Okay, I can just read it here.
That's okay, Darlene. You've already answered that question.
Okay, thank you. I'm really bouncing around here. Bella says, pleased to meet you. I feel so passionate about protecting our communication needs. Carrie says, in my own life, I learned a lot of AAC users are smarter than other people with different disabilities. Sorry, too sad. Just need to accept everyone is everyone, right? William calls it typing takeovers. My mob flash dances is a typing takeover. Otto says we need a seat at the table. If not, then we need to hire a carpenter to build a new table. My dad is a carpenter. Kathy said she liked the flash mob idea. Otto said, I have a multitude of mentors. Do you have any mentees that you've mentored, Otto? Elaine says, it is undeniable that communication is a right. I am still baffled that the higher ups just don't get it. Thank you, DVU and the Mod Squad, for helping people to be aware of the obvious. And thank you, Elaine, as well, because Elaine's a champion on many levels for this conversation as well. Bella says, I think mentorship is critical for us. Tim, do you have anything prepared on what the Speakers Bureau is going to be? Can you talk about that? Okay, I think it's a good time for you to talk about that, Tim, because it's coming up. We might as well not keep it a secret. I'm going to unmute Tim. He's pulling up his story here. Deva's done a lot of mentoring. Talmadge, thank you for your info. I gotta save it. He's getting it together. Okay, I'll read what Elaine says. One day, other generations will look back at the amazing communication look back and be amazed that communication was not seen as an essential right. Prayers for that. Similar to how ASL was seen 100 years ago. Yeah, the Mod Squad are our leaders. Go for it, Tim.
Darren, this is a good segment to talk about the Speakers Bureau coming this summer. Disability Voices United has received a grant from Ability Central Philanthropy to lead Believing the Lived Experience, Self-Advocates Train the Trainer project. This grant will build a community of self-advocates who are prepared to share their stories with their community officials, medical professionals, education settings, and others. In an effort to ensure inclusion in all areas of the community, we will be accepting all disabilities, such as individuals with complex communication needs, hearing and/or visual impairments, and people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. The project will include 3 virtual training sessions, homework, and 1 in-person training day in your community.
So this is called, Tim speaking about the Speakers Bureau, that we are going to start educating, training, calling on some of you to help us on this. And
We are going to start this summer for self-advocates only.
right. And I was going to say we were going to start this summer. So it'll start this summer, June 14th, actually. Most of the time DVU has their sessions in the evening, like this one, right, from 4 to 5:30. But because this is just for self-advocates, and we know that some people have hired staff that help them to communicate, and usually the daytime people are the people that are a little more successful at the proper supports. We're going to have our sessions from 1 to 2:30. So there's just 3 of them. So it'll be in midday. So that way, if you do have support needs, hopefully we can optimize that for you. We're getting, it's all set up right now. So you'll be receiving information about announcing it at the end of April, and then have an application process, and then we'll start it in June. The one day that we will be in person, where it's this, you don't go to all 3 of them, that it's the same event, but in different communities. Okay. I mean, I guess if you really wanted to, you could go to all 3 of them, but that's not the plan. We wouldn't kick you out or anything. But we'll be in Orange County, in San Jose, and in Fresno. And you'll have 2 days of DVU training available. One day will be dedicated to the Speakers Bureau, and the second day will be dedicated to the emerging leaders. And we're going to be working on, it'll just be in-person time where you can practice and get feedback from each other. And we'll be talking more about media presentation.
And talking to the media.
Tim and I, we always do this. Okay? It's the weirdest thing. I think we've seen each other 3 times in 2 years in person, but we do this all the time. So yeah, we're going to work on media presentations, and we're also going to practice, of course, our elevator speeches, and also spend some time talking about supported decision-making, which is now part of your options, that there's now more of a continuum, I like to call it. You don't have to think about conservatorship. You can actually formalize your desire to have supported decision-making. So we'll be explaining more and practicing more on how you advocate for that, because it's a new concept in so many arenas, medical and education. They need to learn more about this. So that's coming soon. I don't have a link for it because we haven't prepared it yet. That'll be coming. So right now you can get involved through the Emerging Leader Project, and that Emerging Leader Project is for self-advocates and families. whereas the Speakers Bureau is just for self-advocates. Okay. In the end, I know you're going to say this, Tim. In the end, we're going to make a website where we will house, in a sense, or post the bios of those who participated and want their bios presented, so that if you wanted to go talk to medical people, the medical profession could call on you to be an advocate. Education people, you could say, hey, I want the education field. So then people can look you up. So that's making me stress. That's a lot.
Colleen, we are each other echoes, because I was about to say the exact same thing.
I knew that. I knew it. William says, DDS heard assistive technology and sent their IT representatives. We shared about accessible and website navigation issues with Regional Center. Yeah, we did at the meeting. Yeah, that used to happen to me in the schools a lot, where when iPads first came out, and for the schools, they threw it over to the IT department, and you're like, that they're not going to know what we're talking about. They're not going to talk about, they don't know about our needs, but they saw technology and they said, oh, we're going to have the EIT people figure out how to make this work in our system. It's a reflex. Deva, you're saying more, mostly in higher education? Are you talking about the IT departments? I can unmute you if you want, or do you want to type it?
I think this has to do with mentorship.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, so, okay. Thank you, Gilda. The sequence gets lost.
Darlene, can I make just a clarification? You had said it wasn't going to be in Orange County. We're going to be having our in-person event in the Los Angeles area.
Oh,
right.
Okay. Well, good to know. All right. So I'll make that correction on our materials too. Otto says, shout out to the citizens of Otto Nation. Okay. William says his mentor is Tim and he's a great resource. Deva says, I would be happy to help mentor people with mentoring as college students. That's a big deal. Thank you, Deva. I don't know if she's on. If you're trying to go to college, a new college, and you're having issues getting your needs met, I know people have written to me lately. Deva, you might be somebody we're reaching out to on that. Let's see. Otto's doing his speech. Darlene, maybe we can apply for a grant and do the flash mob. Yeah. Okay, that's a good idea. If someone wants to put a grant together to fund us to get everybody together, that'd be awesome. Bella says, I appreciate your patience and support. Bella, and if you're ready at any time, be sure and raise your hand and we'll call on you, just like I am Talmadge right now. Go for it, Talmadge. Am I asking?
The other light bulb that I've been pushing to the advocates is how AT and assistive technology, and now with my new terminology, alternative augmented communications, are connected to advocacy, the support for having it and the support for being able to utilize it in the situations for conveying a thought or concept. So I really believe this is a good idea that we could probably connect and with our youth organizer, Jessica Riestro as well.
Excellent. Oh, thanks. Well, we will be reaching out to you for sure. Oh yeah, Gilda's talking about in the emerging leader, they're going to offer, there's a 5-part training. In that you get even more training time. And Gina, you said that. William says the point we tried to make was that communication is not a service code. Rather, it should come first as a human right. I actually asked the data collecting person on the panel from DBS, like, do you collect data on how many people, like, what is the process to get an assessment done? because I know it takes everybody so long, or else it doesn't even happen. And he said they didn't collect data on that. And I thought it would be, if they're gonna really want to change something, I think that if they like data, that would be something to collect data on, because I know it takes a very long time for so many of you to get your assessments and get your services up and running and follow up and all of that. The other thing that I know that I brought up, which I think would be a good thing to advocate for overall, is, if you are a regional center service provider and you work with individuals who they deem to have behavior needs, right? Challenge, I don't like using that term, but that's how they talk about it. Then agencies and homes and service providers, they are required to have training in behavioral strategies, right? So that everybody stays safe. So I asked, is there any kind of mandated training for communication support to service providers? Do they have that expectation that service providers taking on and getting money for supporting individuals with communication needs, do they have to have training? And they said no. I think that's wrong. I think that how can you meet a person's need if you don't know how to support their communication? And you're taking money. I think that's wrong. I said that in the meeting. So I think you're right, service code wise, William. Otto says, I would like to have a restaurant critic for DVU. Oh, that's Tim. Sharon says, USAC is starting an AA speaker list now. Oh, that's good to know. Thanks, Sharon. Where did Sharon? I can't see Sharon on my screen anymore, but thank you, Sharon. We'll look into that too. Gilda said, oh, okay, yeah. Chantal says, thankful to the Mod Squad, wonderful talks and well said, and thanks to DVU for all the support and activism. Bella says, I am also an advocate for access to academic curriculum for all learners despite their differences. Here to that. The academic community, just as much as the regional center community, needs to do better, right? We'll put you on the list, Bella, for Speakers Bureau Education. Sabrina says, can you share ideas on how to make it easier to access AAC in schools or through the regional center? I think just do it is taken already, right? That's a Nike motto, isn't it? Just do it. But yeah, anybody have any ideas on how to make it easier? Deva says, if you want to find a grant competition, I can write it. Okay, thanks. Lisa says, go for it, Tim.
I have a question for the Mod Squad. When you went to Sacramento, how did they accepted you as typer? Because when I was your age, many decades ago, people didn't really know how to speak to me since they weren't so aware of AAC. Times have changed for the better. Do you think that they were ready for your voices, or were they taken back that you could even speak?
That's for you guys, William, Bella, and Otto. While you're creating, I'll say, Casey's saying, she's in Indiana, Optimal Rhythms, that's the agency she's with, just won a grant to address that very issue to ensure service providers can access communication training. Yeah, well, we can talk about that some more too, Casey. The hard part here has been that even with the grants, service providers don't have staff and it's not a priority. Now with HCBS, making it person-centered, we're trying to make it a priority, but it hasn't been as well received as I thought it would be, which is sad, right? We have to keep doing it. Lisa says communication cannot be another service or service code because you cannot access anything without communication. Exactly. Right, maybe we should say that. We don't want a service code. We just want access to communication. I wonder if that would backfire on us or not. I like that idea though. William says it starts with presuming competence and seeing communication support as a need, not trying to have another service fill communication support. Exactly. Yeah. Talmadge, go for it. Nope, still muted.
Like the hashtag text flood. They can't put a number on a bunch of text messages or letters that are being poured in on behalf of wanting that communication from these individuals with requests and demands. Because with that request, legitimately says you've reached out in more ways than allowed to you. And this is the best way that they're only hearing you. If you want a better way, offer it and allow it. Give us a technology and competent training assistance, like say for instance, like what they're doing with the 271, the wheelchair, trying to release so individuals can get their wheelchair fixed somewhere else instead of being proprietary by the maker or the DME person who originally provided to you. They only know how to spec it.
So they're trying to change.
If they only was giving us the text messages, I would over inundate the offices with text messages and emails and stories. Over.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. We could flash mob them with text messages. Razor, is Otto got something to say, Shelley?
You put it in the chat.
Oh, okay, I'll look it up. Otto says we are that one. We are a force.
Yes.
We are competent. We are prepared. We like challenges, and we were regulated, and our message was clear. We did our best to stay on point. And he doesn't mean like regulated like rules. He means like self-regulated. I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
Like no one was saying don't say those words or anything. Except me. Sometimes I say that. Can't use that fella. Was said DDS should add AAC to the bilingual incentives that are being offered to providers in the community. That's a good idea. You guys are hot today. You got good ideas. This is great. Ella says, I think you're right, and it's so sad. Otto says, you don't choose the text life. The text life chooses you. Lisa says, kudos to the mod squad. William says, I think we blew their socks off by coming in strong with our opening speeches. My equipment fits in my backpack, and we can set it up quickly. I could never do this with my PEX book. We practice and play back speech to make sure it's understood clearly. It is worth the time to prepare. Yeah, Gina thought that was a good one. I think too, that's my observation actually in terms of, was anybody thrown by this group of AAC users coming to this meeting? And I think they were. I think if they were, they handled it well. I didn't feel anything different about it. I don't know if anybody else did. Justice says, hi, to have a disability thrive initiative on newsletter email. How do you, I'm Justin. Okay. So Justin, we're going to get in touch with you and get more information about your group and such for sure. Casey says, hi, I agree, Bella. However, the more people get to see and interact with individuals who communicate with support, the less scary it will become. Yep. Did you want to say something, Tim, or are you agreeing? Okay. There are so many supporters, Bella says, but I totally want all people to accept AAC. Lisa says, my son Jacob has now presented about his journey to communication to 4 different child and adolescent development classes at CSUN. And at the last one, there was a student studying to be an SLP who was really interested and asked lots of questions. We are trying to change the world, even if it is one person at a time. Excellent. Tim has a presentation Friday. Is it this Friday? No, it's not this Friday. I can't remember. Tim has a presentation at Cal State Fullerton, I believe, right? He'll tell us. Bella says, I was referring to the teachers at the conference. Ah, yes. They did a conference as well in Sacramento for a charter school system, the El Dorado charter school system. And there were lots of teachers in the audience. Elaine says, we need universities to have training programs for communication partners certified. Yep, something like that, for sure. And then she says, thank you. Okay, let's see what else. Any other comments from anybody? William and Bella and Otto and Tim maybe too. If you guys have any parting conversations or points, I think now is the time to start creating those. I hope that you all, especially I was excited about some new voices that are coming out today in this meeting in particular. I hope you all stay connected and get involved in the Speakers Bureau project and the Emerging Leader project and DVU in general, because you know, it's about you all as self-advocates. I'm a professional, I'm not a self-advocate, but sometimes I'm in Tim's brain, but other than that. And it's about you guys presenting. I'm gonna go to Justin. I'm gonna have you unmute.
I had a quick question. I just sent you that message, and I was on a Zoom call a long time ago, and I went to the website and there's no sign up or email list for that company. It's like the lunch thing where you go into Zoom, meet the people, and it had a lunch afternoon or something. And I tried to get that on there, my email, but I went in that site, it's not working.
Was this for one of our events?
Not your voice, the other one I sent you the message.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's technology doesn't always work. That's part of the problem. Okay. Disability Thrive Initiative, that one? Is that the one you're talking about, Justin? No?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Do you want us to help you look into that, or are you good?
I do want to see if you can look in that, and
Okay.
it'll be okay. I give you my email.
Yes, if you put it in the chat to Darlene or the whole group, however you want to do, I'll write it down and we'll get to you. That'd be great. Okay, hang on, going down to the end here. William says, with three of us, there was less interest in how we were typing and more interest in what we had to say. Good point. All you AAC users should attend each other's meetings. That way people can get normalized to it for some reason. To the Mod Squad from Lisa. How do you handle the questions which seem to be missing the point? Jacob has been asked why he didn't learn sign language, whether there was an app for this, these kinds of things. Otto, you should answer that one for sure. Otto, do you want me to elaborate, or you got something, Otto? Because I know you're witty. Otto said, though, in his text, we'll bounce back to that, Lisa. Just another thank you for the time you gave us and the support you give us. It all adds up to a positive vibes and improved outcomes for all. Okay, so, and Jacob wants to be a part. Awesome. Watch for that email, Lisa. Thank you, Justin. I'm going to grab that. Bella says, thank you for this opportunity, Mod Squad. Mission accomplished. They're living this Mod Squad thing. Hang on, gotta get my right one up. I'm collecting my names and stuff here. Okay. Thanks, Justin. Otto, how do you handle those silly questions that miss the point? Otto said, that's interesting, Lisa. Jacob, no one has ever asked me about ASL. Oh, okay. It would be like, why didn't you learn Spanish or Korean? And Otto would probably say something like that. I didn't learn Spanish or Korean either.
Yes, he would.
That's how he would say it. The way I communicate, William says, the way I communicate should always be a choice. That's right. Chantal says, on another note, communication access is not the topic, but Jeremy will be using AAC to talk about his art for the, hang on, NIMH on a virtual event highlighting 4 artists with autism and giving a virtual lesson on art via the Guggenheim Museum, which people will see an artist who uses AAC. Great to show what is possible. Without communication access, he would not have become a successful artist. He uses his art to advocate for AAC. So that's going to be in April, you all. You can watch and take, I guess it would be kind of like taking Jeremy's virtual lesson via the Guggenheim Museum. Okay, let's see what else we have. Ask them for another round. Oh, Bella says you should ask them for another random question. Ask them another random question. You know, like, do you know sign language, or do you drive a bus? I don't know, just something out of the air, right? Otto says, go big J OG typer. This is how Otto answers people when they have stupid questions. Carrie says, I've been doing Toastmasters Club on Zoom through PRC. Toastmasters, I think, is a great idea. Carrie, okay, we got to talk to Carrie too. I'm writing you down too, Carrie. Because I've been thinking about Toastmasters a lot. Margaret says, thank you, Mod Squad. You're all doing wonderful and necessary work. William says, or ask them why, oh, I lost it, hang on. Ask them why they speak instead of using AAC. ASL, excuse me. Yeah. Chantal's looking for the link. And the link's not out yet. We'll get that out there. Otto says Type Masters, Type Masters. That's a good one. We should create a Type Master chapter to Toastmasters. Or, well, not all you AAC users use typing, but I have to think of another thing that goes with typing, goes well with the whole Toastmaster thing, but maybe we can think of another AAC master or something. Alternative masters. I don't know. Otto says universal design, masters of universal design. I don't know. Nice. Go for it, Tim.
When you had your rockstar day in Sacramento, how did you handle fatigue? Because at next month's communication access, we will be talking about this very topic.
Yep. Thank you, Tim. So that's what we're talking about next month. And it was kind of good that you guys brought that up, because I think it's a real thing, right? You all as AAC users talk about this often, about just being fatigued by being with people, by being within your schedules, by your schedule demands, never mind the output. So that's what our next month presentation is going to be about, is how do you handle that fatigue? And how do you advocate for the need to have the accommodation for that fatigue too? Tim won't be speaking on that because he doesn't advocate for any accommodations for his fatigue. He uses me to say we're done now. But it's a real thing, right? So definitely we will talk more about that. That's what next month, and next month is on May 19th. Thinking it right? Okay, May 19th, 4 o'clock. Margaret says she has to leave. Okay, bye, Margaret. Thank you. Bella says, it's no joke. I get overloaded. Who's talking?
Hi, Darlene. Sorry, it's Ed. Wouldn't the next one be April 18th?
April 18th, excuse me. I seriously think it's May next month, you guys. I have moved us all along. Thank you, Ed, for helping me. April 18th. All right, it'll be fatigue. Otto says he makes time for exercise. Okay. William says the more I can prepare, less the more I can prepare, the less my sensory. Yeah. And Carrie is reminding us that April 29th, there's a disability festival at the Main Place in Orange County. Oh, okay. Is that on the internet? No. Okay. April 29th, maybe next month you can bring some more information if we need to know like where or time or something like that. Kathy's saying thank you. Ed's saying, okay, yeah, at the mall, at the Main Place Mall, April 29th. Thank you for that, Carrie. All right. Okay, I think we're going to call this a meeting, you all. Thank you so much. Again, want to see you next week, next month. Thanks, Bella. And I really want to say thank you to Bella, William, and Otto for sharing your story about Sacramento. It's not only informational, it's inspiring, and I'm so happy and proud to have you all in my camp and to know you because you do amazing things. All right. Take care. We'll talk to you next month. Bye, everyone.